There's a lot going on in the markets today. Ford just got upgraded as it's no longer a junk bond credit, and AT&T had some positive earnings. What's your take on all this?
Well, on the Ford story, as we know, last time around in the financial crisis, the rating agencies were kind of behind the curve. So I don't know that people were putting a ton of stock into what they're saying about Ford right now. But the encouraging thing is, after reinstating their dividend in December, and now after several months of continuing increasing car sales, it does seem like Ford and the other Detroit automakers are in a position where they can actually make money with a lower sales rate for the industry in the U.S. That's a great sign for these companies. A few years ago, it wasn't possible for them to be profitable unless we had terrific auto sales. Now they're at a much better place. That's confirmed now by what we're seeing from Fitch this morning. On the AT&T side of things, solid earnings. I don't know if it's anything anybody should, be throwing a parade over, but that's what we've been seeing this earnings season. Mostly earnings have beaten expectations. Not a lot of optimism moving forward because there's so much uncertainty with the U.S. economy and what's going on in Europe and China and overseas. But again, solid earnings, nothing to get too crazy about.
So there's also a Fed meeting going on right now. Should we expect any surprises coming out of that?
Doesn't seem like it. They have a two-day meeting. They also have another two-day meeting in June when Operation Twist will be ending. It seems much more likely if they're actually going to take some kind of action, which is still far from clear, that would happen at that meeting. So this week, expect Bernanke to continue walking that fine line between acknowledging economic recovery, but not saying that we're not ready to step in if we see things deteriorating. What'll be interesting is, to date, the Fed has consistently stepped in when the equity market had pulled back. Sometimes it took them a few months, but the Fed has not completely bailed on the market. If the Fed comes out tomorrow and says that they're not looking to take any action immediately, we may see a little headwind for the market from that.
We can't get through a session without talking about Apple earnings. What's your take there?
Well, the interesting thing to watch there will be they released a new iPad during the quarter. We'll see how those numbers look. They said they had a record first weekend when it went on sale. We'll see how the rest of the period since they put it on sale turned out. And iPhone sales will be very important to watch. Some recent reports have talked about a delay in when they'll actually launch the next version of the iPhone. Sometimes you can see some headwinds for Apple when they are about to release a new device and people maybe hold back from buying. Now that there seem to be signals that we may not see the iPhone 5 until sometime in the fall, maybe they picked up a little bit during this quarter. It's hard to say. The stock has corrected quite a bit from its all-time high on April 10th. It'll be interesting to watch. If a huge beat comes out, I don't think anybody will be surprised if the stock surges.